Okay. And she was helping take care of this little boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you said your father was a teacher as well?
Yeah, my dad had taught school there for years, several years.
Okay. Do you know where he went to college or did he
Wiley
go?
College.
He went to Wiley College?
Wiley College.
Okay. And so then somehow he ended up in the Tadmore community.
Yeah, he was living in the Tadmore community. But
Okay.
Fairview and his, where he had taught school before, wasn't too far away, which you could, kind of, in a wagon and thing, wouldn't take you too long to go across there. So when he lived in this Fordyce community, which was about, I guess about 20 or 30 miles away. And that's where he lived and where he was born.
Mm-hmm.
And then he married and lived up at another place about 8 or 10 miles from there with his father-in-law, Green Patton, which owned a lot of land.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with his father-in-law, he married that daughter. And after she died,
Well, hold on now. Patton was a big landowner there in Houston
Green
County.
Patton, yes, he did. And he also had a son named Dr. Patton, which also was a doctor in Palestine.
Well, now these were white folks though, right? Or were these black people?
These black folks.
Okay.
And my daddy married his daughter. And she died. And they had these 4 girls.
Mm-hmm.
Irene, Justine, Helen, and Grace.
Okay.
And then after that, he married my mother. He met my mother,
Okay.
which was not too far away. And he started teaching there because he had taught in that Fairview area.
Okay. Now, do you remember anything about the Franklins, the Franklin family over on the other side of the creek?
Well, the Franklin family owned quite a bit of land over in that area. And we still have quite a bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then my grandfather, cousin married in the Franklin family. And then my oldest brother, dad was a Franklin. And they lived there across, not too from the Daniel. They joined pretty well, the land was pretty close together.
Okay. Now I've heard stories about them having some problems with the sheriffs and all that. Do you remember any of that kind of stuff?
Well, the white really didn't want to give up a lot of that land. And so it was a problem for a long time with my brother because he was taking over the land. And the white folks still was trying to get some of the land. And my brother would just have to, I worked for him and prayed so hard for the Lord to take care of him because he'd go there and sometimes they'd be after, but he was, he carried his gun too, and so it was hard. Cause we'd be at school sometime and things would happen, they called me and said, they carried him up and this, that, and the other. And I'd have to go and get calls sometimes. My cousin Preston to the house, we'd go to try to see about him. Because I just didn't want him to kill anybody.
Yeah.
But he didn't mind using his gun either.
Mm-hmm. do you remember them the Franks? They came, apparently my understanding is they went to World War I, and they earned their money and came back and bought land. Do you remember that or any of that kind of stuff?
I know he went to the army, but they owned this land before my brother went to the army.
Well, no,
now, I don't know about the older people.
Yeah, the older people. That's what I was talking about.
I don't know how they got that land.
Okay. Now, we have one thing that's going on right now. There's a congresswoman. Her name is Jasmine Crockett. And my understanding is that Tom Daniels had a half-brother whose last name was Crockett. Do you remember him?
Yes, I know. We went to his house several times. He had a daughter they called Sookie. She had 2 or 3 children. But they lived about 8 or 10 miles up. We used to get on the truck and go up there to his house and, visit him.
And what was his name?
Henry Crockett.
Okay, Henry Crockett. And that was your grandfather's brother.
Yeah, they were half brothers.
Okay. And so did you all stay in touch with them, or did y'all?
Yeah, we would go up there and they'd come down there sometimes when this reunion was going on.
No, okay.
I just visit sometimes.
Just visit. That's what the reunions are for,
Yeah, but sometimes they would visit, but we live with, my uncle had, Estella, husband had a truck, and we'd get on his truck. He had a big truck and flat bed, and we'd all get on the truck and go up there and visit the family.
huh? Okay. Now,
And another community was called Augusta,
Augusta. Okay.
but to be far from Chattanooga,
Okay.
Chattanooga.
Now, what other things do y'all remember were big issues during that time when your grandpa was still alive? Or do y'all what were kind of things that were really, really important at that time?
Well, we would just visit one other day, churches and things.
Mm-hmm.
We'd get on these big trucks and go from one community to the other and visit. We'd have to put on another dress and tie up our head. And we'd get to those communities because we didn't have such a good road and be a lot of dust and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get up there. In some of them communities, they have watermelon, folks bust watermelon and heat them up to get to the churches and things like that.
Okay. Now, were the programs the different churches would have, were those very important in y'all's lives at that time?
Yeah, because of the fellowship.
Okay.
And Poor Black's fellowship.
Now, I remember certain times, the first Sunday in August or something like that? What was the big thing to do in Tadmore and Ratcliffe when y'all were coming up?
Well, on the first Sunday in August was what we call these, the Simple Chapel was a Baptist homecoming. And the second Sunday was a Methodist homecoming.
Okay. And so y'all
And
go to
then
those.
at Kenard, which we later consolidated with the school, they had the third Sunday in August. And that ended up being a large place, and a lot of people come home. And then still folk coming home the later part of the first Sunday and second Sunday. They wait to come home for the third Sunday because they see more of their friends that they met up with. That was after they, left home and around. Because my mother used to ask the folks, say, how come y'all don't come back home for our program? They said, well, if we wait till the third Sunday, we'll see more folks than we can see, so we just wait and come on the third Sunday.
Now, we all know one of your brothers was a pastor. One of your brothers, Oscar, was a pastor.
Yeah, that would be before, but we had quartets in our community, and we had a quartet in there, and they folk could really sing. And I mean, just folk would come from just all around in our area and listen to them folks sing because they could sing. And then later on, it was Two Sisters Children.
So he was a part of the quartets?
No, not at that time.
Okay.
But it was in the later years when my brother got to be the pastor there.
Okay. How do y'all remember all the preachers? They would just come from. How would they get sent there? Did y'all just?
We had a presiding elder, which was have an annual conference. Like I was saying, my grandmother would come down here like once a year. Most of the conferences they would be in Houston, and they would, whenever the conference would be, they'd go to a meeting, and she would always go to meetings. Later years, we started to come in quite a bit, my family,
Mm-hmm.
and another man, and we go to the different churches and what have you. And then they would name a pastor for the community.
Now, you talked a little earlier about World War II. Tell me how did that affect the community and the family?
Well, several of them went to war during World War II. My brother went, and several other friends from the joining areas went.
Mm-hmm. And you remember a lot of those people too. I'm sure you knew them.
Yeah, one was called Chester Denman. He was a mechanic. He helped her quite a bit with the cars and things in our community around.
Mm-hmm.
And like that. Even after he come out, he would do that for us. Help fix our cars and things. And
Now,
my brother finally, came out. They was all good friends. And so, like on the first Sunday, when they have their homecoming, we all go down there. On the second Sunday, we have our homecoming, they come up there. And things like that. And third Sunday night was everybody go to Kennewick.
Now, did y'all have to do rations and everything when World War II was going on?
Yeah, we did sugar. We couldn't hardly get sugar.
And so what happened? What did y'all have to do?
Well, you try to save it the best you could when you did get some, but you try to get it when you could.
Okay. Did y'all have to have stamps or something like that?
Yeah, you would have stamps. We had stamps to buy stuff with.
Okay.
I remember exactly now what, but we used to have stamps. And then later on, after my father passed away, we got on this program where they call Give Me a Commodity. They give you so much every month, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to a family when you get food stamps and things.
Okay. So who pushed y'all to go and get education?
It was just my dad's family, just all of them was, most of them was going to school from Fordyce and around. And when my daddy was leaving, well, he died when we were young, about 13, but still, we had good teachers and things. I.T. Williams, he used to help with my brother quite a bit because my brother loved agriculture.